cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? I was on Oblivious Benson's channel, and I figured I'd just stay over there. She has 120 people in chat, and they're talking about, well, possibly Karen Reed, some other stuff. So, gotta tell them to come back over here, come to the dark side. Let's talk about Jocelyn Nungaray. Hit that like button as we come on. All right, so Jocelyn, they call it sometimes Nungaray. Sometimes they say it in Spanish. So let's talk about it. We've got Jocelyn, and trigger warning as we start this because it's brutal. No matter what I tried to do to make it well, less brutal, I couldn't. There's nothing I could do. I was like, what can I do to so that they wouldn't talk about well, the R word and brutally murdering. What could I do? And there was nothing I could do. Every channel just said it. Everything is it's just really brutal. So trigger warning. Now, there's a show on Fox, and Fox is heavily pushing this case. Yeah, we're going to say trigger warning. Fox is pushing this case because it's election season, and I'm going to show you something kind of funny after this. Hello, Mom. Prayers for Jocelyn. I'm going to show you Jocelyn Nungaray's killers as they wait trial, but I want you to see what's your point. They always have a crazy point of view. Well, because it's Fox and they're covering this and it's political. So let's listen to this crazy bit, and then I'm going to show you something kind of funny.
We don't need brutal criminals running through our community or harming others, especially our children.
We all have to follow through, and we all need to give them their punishments that they deserve.
By the way, I didn't want that on there. I didn't want nothing on there, or whatever the name of that show is. I didn't want that on there. Rest in peace, Jocelyn. There's nothing funny about Fox, and no, I don't want to promote Fox. That's why I took it off. But Fox is covering this case in Houston, Texas, and you can see Fox is just on there covering it. So they're making it a political thing. 2 immigrants brutally essayed, and then after 2 hours of doing that, they murdered this girl. They could have let her go. They could have done anything else, but they decided to do that. Thank you, Davey. What's going on? Always good to see you. Definitely Hulk smash. Like, Hulk smash that like. And let's say a prayer for Jocelyn and her mother and her family. And let's talk about immigrants that, statistically, immigrants don't come over here and just do that. They don't just murder or do things like this. Statistics show a much different number, but it's political season, and these guys are immigrants.
Because my baby didn't deserve this.
Let's love our children when you get home. Let's explain to them that you're vulnerable when you're on the streets.
A sheriff, a grieving mother, and Houston's mayor all still reeling after the murder of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray. 2 undocumented grown men from Venezuela have apparently admitted to
what he said. Jocelyn Nungaray. Jocelyn Nungaray. I got to remember that. All right. So these 2 monsters, I'm going to tell you the story, and we're going to show you how they got caught. It's a great story because their roommates turned them in, and bam, 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 just like that, they got arrested. So they did a great job with them. I'm glad somebody saw something and said something. I'm glad they heard something and said something. What's up, Michelle? You left Oblivious Benson's cult for the day. She's crazy. Shout out to Oblivious Benson. Shout out to Adam Drives Helen. This case is crazy, and we stay on point.
to committing this despicable act of brutality, luring, binding, sexually assaulting, and strangling a defenseless child, and then tossing her lifeless body in the water. Jocelyn was laid to rest Thursday as her alleged killers now await trial for capital murder. Panel, this terrible crime is being widely viewed as preventable, the consequence of an immigration process which allows access to this country to anyone who can cross the border, including those with evil intent. Gary?
You said it as exactly the way it is. We're letting.
And I play all sides of the coin, so we're not getting political, as long as you don't get political in chat, or you get political and you keep it respectful. But this is what I'm playing today. It's kind of funny. It's pretty messed up how things are going at this point. I wish we had better democratic options. And it's unfortunate that it is political season. And Jocelyn Nungaray, I said it right, her mom realizes that it is a political thing, and everybody's, as long as they're covering it, she's happy. We need justice for her. Beverly, hello. All right.
These people in, they're unvetted, and this is the Biden-Harris immigration system. Open borders. This is the consequences of open borders. The American people want the borders closed. It's going to happen. And thugs like this, who are part of Venezuelan gangs, this is what we get. I mean, the other countries are.
Again, this guy's a bit ridiculous, and I want to shout out to Adam Drives Helen. What's up? What's up, Adam Money? I'm glad you came over here to the dark side. This is a dark side. Trigger warning here. Jocelyn Nungaray, like they said. All right, you guys can get political. Be respectful. You can't not get political when it's that season and they're trying to make it that. But, I mean, that guy's an idiot. He's talking about thugs, and then another guy is like, no, it's not political. It's just what happened.
Dumping their trash in America.
Look, no one on this panel, no one is anti-immigration. Chris, you know, you work in the criminal courts just like Gary. Your thoughts here?
Well, so this is a horrible case, a sad case in the parents who are grieving over this situation should not have to listen to the news every day and talk about these immigrants, illegal immigrants, day after day after day. Being a parent who goes through this every day, I know how these parents feel. And so hopefully they won't have to spend 3.5, 4 years.
Right. Unfortunately, capital murder cases take that long, and it sucks. And we don't want to accept it. And we all want to talk about Stephen Stearns is going to trial next month. Not going to happen, folks. Not going to happen. Hello, a crime to remember. Hello, beautiful people. Hit that like button as if it was Jennifer Soda's face. Yes, punch the evil potato. And we can talk all we want about, yes, the borders should not be open. I'm going to show you a funny clip after, even though we're not getting political and you can stay on your side or we'll stay on ours, whatever. There shouldn't be a side, but we have shitty choices. I'm going to show you a clip after that I thought was really funny that I posted on my X account, even though I am a Democrat, not much of a choice.
Waiting for the justice system to catch up. And probably they will, because a capital murder case takes about that length of time. These cases are hard on families to deal with, whether or not they're immigrants or American citizens.
Exactly.
These types of cases are difficult for victims' families to live with and go through when something like this happens to them. And so from my standpoint, I want to tell them, you'll get through this. So that's what I want to say.
Thanks, Chris. Look, you know, this community is torn apart. You know, it's indicative of our poll. It's as spillover effect. 95% of those who responded to our unscientific survey said they would favor a Trump-style major deportation program. Marcus, what do you see here?
Well, there's not a choice, Davey, because if we don't vote, nothing happens. If we vote, nothing happens. We have to pay our taxes. We're in America. If we don't pay our taxes, then guess what? We go to jail. So there is not a choice. And I know people think there is, but really there's not a choice. It just is what it is. You got to go with it. We are here on this channel making change. That's all we can do. I'm going to fast forward this political shit because, well, if anything, it's just a joke. I like what this guy says.
No, hey, I didn't, at the time I didn't get it, but I understand. There were times where I would just tell her things like, hey, I just don't think doesn't have anything to do with you, baby. It has to do with, I don't trust the streets. And I hope this isn't politicized, even though this did come as a result of inaction, right? But, let's deal with the humanity of this. This family is lost. People have to be humans, and we've got to be sensitive to these situations and not try and use them to turn for our own gain. But some action has to be taken.
Jump in here, Doug Miller.
It isn't just the family of the victim traumatized by this crime. It is the entire city.
Yeah.
I cannot help but think back to a crime committed back in 1990, the murders.
Thank you, Graciela Gonzalez. Remember, it's not about a political movement. It's really about justice for Jocelyn Nungaray, however you say that. And Nungaray, I say Nungaray, they say Nungaray. Hit the like button. We want justice for her family. We're going to see an outburst with the family today. We're going to also see how these murders got caught. We're also going to see the political movement trying to come in and change it in that way because it's that season. We're also going to make fun of ourselves a bit. And when I say ourselves, you're a Democrat, you make fun of yourself because it's a little bit funny what I'm going to play in a bit, the clip. If you're a Republican, it's a little bit funny because even though when Trump was in office, we didn't close the borders, the job didn't get done. But the bottom line is justice for justice for Jocelyn Nungaray.
Of Elizabeth Pena and Jennifer Ertman, which are seared in the memories of anyone who lived in Houston at that time. Happened more than 30 years ago, and I still think about that, and I think the whole city remembers that. And I strongly suspect that this crime will traumatize our city for decades to come.
A few words, Holly?
I think, to echo what everyone else has said, the details of this crime are horrific. As a parent, I think everyone just, your stomach curdles at what happened to this girl. There's evil in the world, and we need to be wise about that. We can have all of these really great intentions and want to welcome people.
Where are you going, Davey? You can't watch Justice for Jocelyn Nungaray. What's happening here? Anyway, that's what it's about. They're making it political. It is the season. Thank you, Hope 8, for becoming a new member. And we're going to make fun of ourselves for a minute because of that because of the damn political crap that's coming up. It's happening. Both sides are demented. And that's why in my Twitter clip I'm going to play next, it's just funny. It's ridiculous. Giselle, what's up, Giselle? Crime Crew. Davey says Biden. There you go. Biden probably is a pedo. I've seen him on clips, and he touches kids way too long. But that doesn't mean that you got to go. And it doesn't mean that I voted for Biden just because I'm a Democrat. It just means the whole situation's sad. But we want justice. We want justice for Jocelyn.
From all over the world. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not anti-immigration to say we need to be vetting these people and see who is coming across the border.
Do you guys even realize that these guys that did this were on ice hold? The fucking guy, and excuse my language, had an what do you call that on his leg? He had an ankle monitor and he cut it off to go commit this awful crime, folks. And Mexico never paid Trump for the wall. Big surprise. Right. Big surprise. The wall never got done. Words are BS. And it's not about that. It's about justice. Thank you. It's about justice for Jocelyn. Yes, I couldn't think of the ankle monitor word. I eventually thought of it, but it's good to see you, Mr. Strategic. Good to see you. Ankle monitors do nothing when they're cut off. And these guys took 2 hours to do this crime. All right. And why we're here is justice for Jocelyn. And no, these guys shouldn't be here, but we should also be paying attention to everybody that has ankle monitors. We should all do a write-in for right in Canada. Vote for Jay. Right. And we don't have to have a side. We're also in a cult on Oblivious Benson's channel. I don't know what the cult is, but it's Hail All Groton. Whatever that means, let's convict the evil potato, because apparently rotten potatoes turn into a bunch of different, they grow out and make a bunch of other rotten potatoes. So I don't know. Please set aside, guys. This place is where we should make more important stuff. Who the president is. Exactly. That's why I'm going to make fun of it in a minute. That's not true. Most ankle monitors used for patient dual alert. Well, The ice one didn't alert. Unfortunately, it didn't alert, and you're going to see how these guys got caught. Luckily, their roommates spoke up. So we're about over this clip.
Is it someone who's a member of a gang with a known criminal history? We don't know. And, these Venezuelan gang members are not clearly tattooed the way MS-13 and some of these other gangs are. They're very stealth and difficult to detect, and we've got to do a better job.
All right. And she's saying we got to do a better job. She's right. I don't know who her we is or what she follows. Again, that doesn't make a difference. What matters is justice for Jocelyn. We're going to see a lot of stuff today. I've got a lot of different clips, and I've got a lot of, frankly, I've got a lot of opinions. Got a big mood today. I don't even know what mood I'm in. It's Monday. It's kind of the end of an era for me. It's always the end of an era, I call it, when something changes. Lots of change today. Doesn't really matter what it is. Just know that it's a big change and whatever. But don't get upset. I'm going to show this clip. You're here from a cult. Good. We're in a cult of Oblivious Benson's cult and Rotten Potatoes. It's funny. Rotten Potatoes, plant growing window, right. I'm admiring a rotten potato plant. Yeah, it's just all for the funny stuff. Tuesday for me is tomorrow. There you go. Mood Monday. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Hope 8 Fear. All right, let me show you something funny. It is really funny. Again, I'm not playing any political side, but I saw this on X and I thought that it was appropriate for what's happening right now. If I could I can't speed it up. Might as well speed it up. Both these, this old guy and this old guy, 4 years apart, and then Trump comes in and says something really dumb. So I'm going to play it real fast and show you. It's just
I continue to think we have to make fundamental changes in civil rights, and those civil rights, by the way, include not just only African Americans, but the LGBT community.
He wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for the ability
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I oppose.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with
what?
Look, if you will determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote. If you're able to vote early in your state, vote early. If you're able to vote in person, vote in person. Vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot stop you. And I'm going to.
This is just a quick Twitter clip making fun. Yes, thank you all tanks for laughing at this. It's just a quick clip. It's ridiculous. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. And Davey, I'm sorry you left, because we have no choice here in America. And I didn't say I voted for Biden or I'm voting for him. I'm just saying, even if my hands are tied and I do nothing, I still have no choice. And I have lots of taxes to pay. My roof fell in and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Okay, I had to play that because, even he was right. He was like, I don't even think he knew what he was saying. None of us did. I didn't know. That shows you the choice that we have, but we do have a choice to get justice for Jocelyn. Let's watch this family moment in court. I really wanted to show you this. Again, trigger warning, because I cannot stop it on this case. It is what it is. Jocelyn was brutally essayed and then killed after.
Doesn't lie. Circumstantial evidence doesn't lie. This little girl did not bind herself at the hands and feet, scratch her back up on the ground.
All right, so this is what happened to Jocelyn. What about Jocelyn? We're done with that. I had to bring the light for a second into this and tell you this is what they're bringing to Jocelyn Nungaray. Jocelyn Nungaray is the one that we're talking about right now, and this is what happened to her. So, hello, Princess Mish, Patroness Glow is here. I got your email. I'm going to send that out this week. My son is scared to death of elections, so afraid of losing his rights. Right. Don't be afraid. Embrace what happens. Go with it. It'll be okay. But no, we don't have rights. And if you believe that we have rights, I don't know. I don't know how. I can't disappear off grid, folks.
Round. Take off her own pants and underwear and fling herself into the water. Okay? They did it. And anything they say is a lie. It's like the devil. Whatever he says, it's a lie. It doesn't matter. It's a lie. They're lying. Now, we know in the last hours, the family has been subjected to hearing the facts the way we've been talking about them. No mother wants to hear this. I don't even want to hear it about another child, much less this mom hearing it about her own child. And
right. Patronus. She gets it. Thank you, Patronus. All right. Yeah, we were making light of a situation that there's no end to. Again, for this situation, we want to be sensitive, but there's no sensitive way to talk about what happened to Jocelyn Nungaray.
there was an explosion in the courtroom. Not the first time. Listen.
Oldest sister of Errol Lindsay, whatever your name is, say, I'm mad.
Jeffrey
This is how
Dahmer.
you act when you are out of control. I don't want to ever see my mother have to go through this again. Never, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I hate you. I hate you. This is out of control.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Don't with me, Jeffrey. I'll kill you.
I only wish she had gotten her hands around his neck. And of course, we all know about our friend Mark Class. His daughter Polly was kidnapped during a little spend the night party at her place in the middle of the night. I don't even say the defendant's name out loud. He took Polly, he raped her, he assaulted her, and he murdered her.
Trigger
And
warning.
in court, Class, there's Polly, Class lunges for the killer and tries to strangle him right there. And another case, a martial arts expert molested a little boy. And when he was extradited back to Louisiana and he came off the plane, the dad shot him in the head, later acquitted. But
yeah,
why are people suggesting that the family of Jocelyn misbehaved in the courtroom? They didn't misbehave. The two defendants misbehaved, according to police. To Andy Kahn, director of victim services, there in Houston. Do you blame them?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I've been in the courtrooms where families have gotten up and have yelled. I've been in a courtroom where a bailiff whispered to me and said, I'll let the father of the young girl that was murdered, if he goes over the rail, I'll give him a few minutes before I...
Remember, both defendants, I believe, were in court. They're awaiting trial. Trial's going to take forever, and the parents have to hear about this over and over and over. It's hurting my head to even have to hear about it once. Every time I hear the word R or the word, any of those words, them talking about her being scratched in the back for hours.
I pull them off. No, nobody blames them for anything that happened. I don't blame them for unleashing as well. I would probably do the same. This is the worst possible scenario you can imagine this family is undergoing right now. Jocelyn is everybody's daughter. She is everybody's sister. She is everybody's niece. This is not just a Houston issue. It's not just a Texas issue. She has become the national issue for what happens when you murder, rape, and strangle and kidnap a 12-year-old little girl.
Can I say, Andy Kahn? You know, Andy, again, I consider you a friend. We've worked together for many, many years. But does your mouth ever get tired of just saying the same thing, blah, blah, blah? She's the poster girl for fill in the blank. She's a catalyst for change. She represents every girl. Really? Then why do these people keep coming into our country and committing murders? And not just them, other perps. You see it over and over. Repeat offenders preying on victims younger, less cunning, less powerful than they are. And they walk free, and then they do it again. A catalyst for change. This is one in a string of many. Do I have to name them off? There's Laken Riley. There's Molly Tibbetts. There's Rachel Lauren. He goes on and on, for Pete's sake.
And we're covering all those except for Molly. So we've got Laken Riley. And this was not on purpose, folks. These are just cases that I picked up. So I picked up Jocelyn Nungaray, Laken Riley, not Molly Tibbetts. I didn't pick that case up, but I've got the three girls that she just named off, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not meant to really be a political thing, but it's turning into one because of the time. But we do want justice, and we do want to keep this out there. We do want it relevant. We want longer than a few minutes of a clip, and that's why I come here and do an episode.
Sake, man. Second verse, same as the first.
To do that. That's why I'm here to do that, to make sure that what happened with her, at least we can make the attempt that it doesn't happen to somebody else. That's the least we can do in her.
Well, listen, we could make change in this country for ourselves, in our homes. We tell our children, hey, don't sneak out. Here's my Cash App card. Just wake me up. It doesn't matter if it's midnight, whatever time it is. You want a snack, we can DoorDash something. You can make the change in your home. So make the change in your home, and the country, let the country be the country. Don't stress yourself out about it, but do it in your own home. Do it with your own kids, Cheryl. We have to do that. We have to make a difference for each other and just for one person, even if it's for ourselves. BC Sly, high guilty crime from Canada, celebrating Canada Day today. Take a break from the festivities to see what's up over here. And Carly, happy Canada Day. I thought it'd be like happy Canadian Day, but there's a bunch of Canadian people in here, so happy Canada Day. Melanie Copeland, I did not get that day. It's America here. We're the United States, and it was full force work day.
For honor and in her memory, and that's what we're going to do.
You know what, Andy Con, you're right. I'm sorry. You just happen to be the target of my anger and frustration about what happened to this girl.
Wow. That's crazy. All right, let's go to the next clip. I hate that. Come on. All right, let's go. And actually, I did not see the outburst on there. It was interesting. It showed different outbursts, and I was waiting for it. And I was like, wait, what happened? Jojo, where are you today? Do I see Jojo in here? Jojo, you're in here. Can you, if you already didn't send me, would you do me a favor and send me that, the outburst? Because I thought I thought that was going to be in there. So there's a Jocelyn Nungaray court outburst. And I don't think I have it here in my clips, but I am telling you the story I do need to show that. And I am telling you the story of how these fucking immigrants, El Salvadorian, whatever gangster guys, I don't even know if they really are or what they're saying, if it's true, but how they got caught. And of course, the family had an outburst. And I wanted to show you the contrast of the outburst between the Jeffrey Dahmer case and the fact that when a little boy was essayed, his dad shot the guy and no repercussions happened, which I agree with. I'm glad that he got off. All right, let's listen how roommates saw their surveillance images while watching TV, and that's why these guys got caught in the Jocelyn Nungaray case.
Are getting brand new details in the murder of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray. We want to thank you for joining us. I'm Keith Garvin.
Good evening. I'm Daniela Guzman. Some newly unsealed warrants reveal these images from a bar and a secret meetup with HBD helped investigators track down those suspects. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry has been following this case since the very beginning, and he's live tonight in the newsroom with what he's learned. Bryce?
Yeah, Keith and Daniela, these new warrants reveal that Jocelyn Nungaray's suspected killers watched TV with their roommate when their images flashed across the screen. These records also show investigators did not even know their names when they moved in to arrest them after getting help from a tipster hundreds of miles away. Suspected killers Johan Martinez Rangel and Franklin Pena took these pictures at an Ojos Locos in North Houston just hours before 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray was found strangled in this bayou June 17th. Investigators released these images of them the next night.
So police looking for two persons of interest.
These are brand new photos tonight of the men homicide detectives want to speak with.
They saw themselves on TV while watching the news with their roommate, according to this new search warrant.
Isn't this great? These guys were over there trying to be cool, having their social media, committing crimes with their ankle bracelets. And yes, Tiff Knox, you watched America's Most Wanted, because we're going to call these guys scumbags. These scumbags are disgusting, Tiff Knox, and that's something John Walsh would say, and I'm proud to say it as well. Thank you for seeking justice for so many. Well, you're welcome, and I'll keep doing that.
Roommate tried not to react, but instead texted a cousin in Laredo. He was scared and did not know what to do because he was living with two guys responsible for the death of a 12-year-old girl. By Wednesday night, the cousin contacted Houston police from 350 miles away. The roommate made up an excuse to leave the apartment. Houston police picked him up not far away to take him downtown for questioning.
The intervention of that person helped prevent these two defendants from fleeing.
Another roommate, the suspect's boss, then came to police headquarters, telling investigators he gave Pena a ride home when Pena admitted they made a mistake after partying on Sunday night and hurt some.
Isn't this great, folks, the way these guys got caught? They told somebody they made a mistake on Sunday and someone that got hurt is dead. The roommates saw them on TV. Hence, I don't know if it was TV or social media, maybe YouTube. Bravo for the roommate, Lynette says. You're absolutely right. Bravo for the roommate. And for all of us that are paying attention to social media, true crime, and if you say something, if you see something, say something. I said that backwards because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at everything right now. Yes, absolutely, folks. This is that was probably the best way that I could have seen that these guys that got caught and are getting justice. And this is made a mistake, my ass. They kidnapped Jocelyn and they did this for 2 hours. They abused her for 2 hours, folks. All right, Juror 13. Hello. Let's keep going. And I have the outburst here next.
Someone who was now dead. Both witnesses identified Martinez, Rangel, and Pena in the surveillance images, appearing to be in the same clothing they wore at the bar in a photo with their roommate the night of the murder. Investigators worked feverishly in the overnight hours, got the arrest warrant signed around 5:30 Thursday morning. The SWAT gang and homicide units then moved in to make the arrests for capital murder. And prosecutors say the suspects asked their boss for money to leave town. One of them allegedly cut off his ICE-issued ankle monitor after Jocelyn's murder. Tonight, both men.
All right, so that's what I was talking about. One of them cut off their ankle monitor. You got to remember there's two of them. I think they're being tried together. Thank you, Maggie Torres de los Meadow, however you say that. Melbourne, Victoria, Australian. Yeah, it would be scary to find out you're living with murderers. Absolutely. But they did a great job. And remember, they knew this guy had an ankle monitor. So they knew something was up. They knew they were on ice hold. I'm so glad they did what they did. They're absolutely disgusting. Remember, they're in Texas. Death penalty is on the table. However, we got to remember and be patient. Anything that's a capital murder case is going to take anywhere from 3 to 5 years. So don't expect Stephen Stearns to be on trial when they say he is. It's not going to happen, folks. It's just not. That little girl, Jocelyn, let's say her name. The little girl didn't stand a chance. Jocelyn Nungaray didn't stand a chance, but she did fight. She did fight, and she scratched them. She did fight back. And this, I know who this is. It's Daisy Live Love, but you just told me. Is this Barbara? Tell me who it is in chat. Thank you for the $20 super chat sticker. Love back to you. Just told me. I know you. It's your alternate account. God bless them having the courage to report the monsters. Absolutely. They took the ankle monitors off. No, the ankle monitors because they were on ice hold. They were on an ice hold, and they had them. They were keeping track of them. What good track they kept of them, right? All right.
And here illegally from Venezuela are being held on $10 million bonds. Investigators are still awaiting lab results to determine if they'll be eligible for the death penalty. Live in the newsroom, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC.
All right, so that showed you they're eligible for the death penalty, and God bless Texas. Remember, Texas is also it's an open carry state, I believe. You can just carry your gun, and nobody's going to say anything about anything. I want to welcome Sadie's mama as being a new member. Love you. You probably renewed your membership, so thank you. You've been a day one. Patronus, I'm going to say that the best I can. Every time I might forget, but we still love you, Patronus Glow. All right. Let's watch the family explode. That's what we're here for. We wanted to talk about the surveillance, getting these scumbags caught, and watching the family's outburst.
Capital murder suspect charged in 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray's death made his first court appearance. A judge set bond for 22-year-old Johan Martinez Rangel at $10 million. That's the same bond amount the other suspect, 26-year-old Franklin Pena, was given just yesterday. Our Rochelle Turner was inside the courtroom for both hearings. She's breaking down what happened.
Today, prosecutors said detectives were able to get inside Johan Jose Martinez Rangel's phone. They learned that he was trying to research how to get out of the country. We also learned that Martinez Rangel has 2 kids. His defense attorney said they do not live in Harris County. The 22-year-old was also handcuffed wearing a yellow jumpsuit as he walked into the courtroom. Court records show he and Martinez Rangel lured Jocelyn to a bridge. Pena told authorities he tried to tell Martinez.
Well, an ankle monitor usually keeps track of somebody. Now, most people that are on an ankle monitor have earned their way to it, or, you know, they've gone through the steps and they're now on like some kind of probation. This was an ICE hold, so their ankle monitor, they just cut the ankle monitor off and went to town. So JoJo says, I'm back. JLR had a good video on this case, showed the streets. Yeah, I did see that. I'm not going to play JLR today, only because one of my tenants moved out and I have to show the place so I don't lose $2,000 for the month. But yeah, no, I'm doing the outburst right now. Thank you. Ankle monitors don't do shit.
To stop, but Martinez put his arm around Jocelyn's neck and covered her mouth. Pena allegedly kissed Jocelyn. Prosecutors said Martinez Rangel admitted to tying her legs. He had bite marks and scratches on his arm and shaved his face to avoid detection. Jocelyn was found without her pants and cuts on her body. Today, we asked the lead prosecutor about the timeline on the sexual assault kit.
Our intention to expedite the testing on the buccal swabs that we took from the defendant, as well as from the stain exam. That would be a question for the lab in terms of how soon, but we would like to get those answers as soon as possible so that we can start to get some answers for the family.
Right now, both men are charged with capital murder. Jocelyn will be laid to rest on Thursday. Coming up tonight at 4 and 6 o'clock, KPRC2 reporter Corley Peel will have much more on this developing story. Reporting inside of the Harris County Criminal Justice Center, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC.
Well, I'll have to find that because it says family lashes out during second and then they don't show it. So I don't know why. I'll find it.
And here are the details of Jocelyn's funeral arrangements. As Rochelle mentioned, that service will be this Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. It will be held at the...
I'll pause that since most of you probably saw that. I'm not playing that today. It was already on TV. It was very long. I don't do funerals. Like, just not my thing. Rest in peace, Jocelyn. And most of my family gets cremated and such. And after they do that, then you can have a party and grieve, but you don't have to, we don't need the whole casket and open casket to say you cry and all that stuff. Not my deal. Off topic, JLR would seek funds for you to reshare a video. That is bad form. Maryam Ravens. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about JLR, but funerals with a casket, that's just not my thing. I go if I have to, but it's just not my thing. Rest in peace, Jocelyn Nungaray. And we want justice for her and her family. Her mom is, she's just out there and seeking justice. She's doing a great job. She showed us how a real mother that's grieving looks, that's for sure. All right, so we showed you earlier, but I wanted to show you a little bit more. It's kind of cool here, seeing two sides of things, and this guy's face looks funny right now. All right, the details are so sad. God bless this show. Yeah, it is. Every time I hear it, it makes me kind of sick.
We are learning the suspects accused of killing 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray were turned in by their roommates. Katira Winfrey read through the search warrant and explains what led the roommates to call authorities.
Yes,
the search warrant says the two suspects were inside their apartment unit watching the news.
Okay, now I remember. Daisy Live Love is Darlene. This is Darlene's alternate account. Thank you for gifting the 10 guilty of crime memberships. That means you're a crime crew official if you got that. So everybody shout out to Darlene. It's her alternate account. Thank you. Yeah, what a scumbag. I love scumbags. Anything John Walsh says, I'm down with.
With a roommate when surveillance images of them popped up on the screen. The roommate at the time stayed quietly, but eventually put into motion a string of events that led investigators here. A 30-page search warrant outlines the accusations against Franklin Pena and Johan Martinez Rangel, who's listed in the search warrants as Gordo or Chachis. The pair is accused of killing 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray on June 16th. According to the search warrant, Pena and Martinez Rangel had been out for a night of fun prior to coming into contact with Jocelyn at the 7-Eleven on Kirkendall Road. Surveillance video, according to the documents, shows the suspects and girl walk below the bridge near the bayou at Rankin Road where her body was found. Then 2 hours later shows only the suspects leaving. A roommate who'd only been living with the suspects for a few days came forward, saying all three were watching the news when surveillance images of the suspects in Jocelyn's death were shown. That roommate, according to documents, didn't react, but instead later reached out to someone else who called authorities for him. In a second portion of the search warrant, officials say a second roommate, described as the suspect's boss, was giving a ride to Pena when, according to the documents, Pena said, "Can I talk to you about something?" The documents go on to say Pena said the suspects made a mistake after partying and had hurt someone who is now dead. The roommate/boss then went to his girlfriend's house and told her what he learned. According to the search warrant, the girlfriend told him about Jocelyn's death and then showed a surveillance image of the suspects. The documents say he recognized them as Pena and Martinez Rangel. That's when he called police to report them. Both Pena and Martinez Rangel are charged with capital murder. Katira Winfrey, KHOU, 11 News.
Right now.
All right, he had a pride thing behind him. Pride Month is officially over, folks. Today, July 1st. July 1st, everybody. Amy Cray. My name is J-A-I. I'm going to say yours is Cray. I'm going to go on that far stretch and say Amy Cray. Today is July 1st, and it's officially, well, it's been officially summer, but it's officially my birthday month. Normally, I would celebrate my birthday month, but number one, I don't have a roof. Number two, it's really effing hot in here. And number three, I'm just going to be 45, so whatever. Thank you, Melinda Parks, for the $5 Cash App. I appreciate that very much. All right, so now we're going to talk about the timeline of this, and it just came out. Obviously, we know there was the two immigrants, which we don't even care about their names at this point. I can't remember. I couldn't remember their names if they were to save my life right now, to be honest with you. I don't care what their names are. So, all right, we're going to go over the timeline and what happened. If you don't know, or you haven't seen this case, or you just don't know how long ago it was, or you can't remember, it also goes over a lot of details, which is nice.
June 17th, a young woman's body is found in a North Houston creek by a woman just passing by, and that discovery has ignited a firestorm. We now know the body was that of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray, and the two men accused of killing her crossed the border illegally just days before she was murdered. But this story starts with the manhunt.
I've spoken to her mother. She's devastated, actually holding out hope that it's not her daughter, which I'll let the lieutenant address the circumstances. I will say it makes me angry that we have dangerous criminals on the streets of Houston.
Yep.
Too often we rearrest repeat violent offenders, but we won't rest. And this is an example of why public safety will continue to be our highest priority.
We believe somebody did this horrible thing to her, and we are here to ask for your help to find out if any.
We kind of know this.
Finding that, it scared me, being a mother and a grandmother.
Houston police are investigating the death of a 12-year-old girl whose body was found near West Rankin Road, just west of the North Freeway, not too far from where she lived.
How can somebody do this?
Idiots.
How can somebody leave someone laying there?
They left her laying there with no pants on and scratched up, so we know what happened. And as soon as I saw this case, I went straight to my daughter and said, there's a 7-Eleven right by the house. We go there all the time. And I told her, she's going to be 10. I told her about this Jocelyn Nungaray case. She said, Mom, why do you have to tell me these things? I say, so you don't sneak out and go to 7-Eleven with your friends in a couple of years as you're going to junior high, because she's going to go to junior high right by our house and by 7-Eleven. I'm like, don't sneak out. Just wake me up. Beverly Johnson, I just love watching you. Thank you. And I love when you're on here watching me. I appreciate it. We all have big hearts. That's why we're all here, folks. Thought ankle monitors made of material. You are participating in the Saw movie to get off. They should be. The ankle monitors should be made of a material that you can't just cut off like that. What's the point? I'll never be able to understand how someone could just throw away another human, especially a child. Demons do walk among us, Savage Barbie. Demons walk among us. The devil walks among us. Stephen Stearns is in that category with the devil with these two guys.
It's not something you expect to see anywhere.
Listening to the radio while driving her husband to work is a part of Jackson's routine, but Monday morning, it changed forever.
He said, okay, it's time to call in, 6:15, and I just instantly lost it.
She says that's the moment she saw the body. Investigators tell us the girl left her home without her parents knowing.
Mother last saw her daughter at 10 o'clock when she put everybody to bed. Sometime between 10 and 12, she left.
Authorities say the girl was on the phone with her 13-year-old boyfriend, who last spoke with her around midnight when she was at a convenience store, and the boyfriend heard her talking to two men. Sources tell Fox 26 they saw the girl at the convenience store, and later, two men walked in.
There are violent offenders on our street that we must do something about it. Public safety has to continue to be I'll include everyone, our highest priority.
Jackson wonders how many people drove.
So that's where her body was found, folks. And we know that she went into the 7-Eleven store. The 7-Eleven workers, I guess, saw her trying to hide from somebody, but yet they lured her away. She was on the phone with her boyfriend. Yeah, most of us did sneak out, Storm Cat, and that's the problem. That's why this case hits so close to home. Coinkydink, why would anyone vote for a malignant dementia who instructed cronies to block the immigration bill? Where's the truth in that? I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to vote for him this time. Coinkydink. I don't know. I wish we'd have just finished the job. That's what I hate about elections as well, is that you get 4 years to do nothing. You get 4 years to stir shit up that wasn't your mess to clean up, and then you get kicked out possibly. So I do not know. Jay, your daughter is a baby. Keep her safe. Exactly. My daughter is going to be 10 years old, but she acts like she's 13. She's going into 4th grade. She should be going into 5th grade, but they cut off whatever age cut off for school. They get big so fast. And what I'm saying is, yeah, don't let your kids sneak out if you can. We all snuck out and we're still here. I see us all in chat. Yeah. Patronus Glow, my best friend, all of us used to sneak out. There used to be a whole bunch of us sneaking out. Damn it. All right. Let's hit that.
Drove past the visible body. She says people should always speak up if they see something and would like people to be respectful to the victim's family.
If you see something, give people some closure. Just be respectful and give closure to somebody, because everybody deserves it.
She's an amazing little girl. Amazing. I was so excited to see the woman she was going to turn into.
But Jocelyn Nungaray will forever be 12 years old.
She's gone through a lot these past couple months, struggling with mental health, wanting to take her own life, her being saved.
Can you imagine?
God had other plans for her. She's meant to be here. She's supposed to be here.
Police believe Jocelyn snuck out of her apartment between 10 and midnight Monday night. Her boyfriend reportedly told police he talked to her on the phone around midnight, and she was talking to a couple of men in a car at this gas station in the 12,400 block of Kirkendall.
Hey,
Alexis Nungaray says she didn't know Jocelyn was gone until Tuesday morning.
I looked everywhere, walked around, nothing, and I ran, got my car to where her phone pinged, which was right behind the skate park, and there was already cross tape and cops.
Jocelyn's body was found in a shallow creek in the 400 block of West Rankin. She had been strangled.
My baby did it.
I've been trying to get around this. I want to bring this case, but I'm like, there's no other way to not say that she was strangled. She was brutally essayed. I don't even know. This is just awful. It doesn't happen. It shouldn't happen this way. It shouldn't have happened this way. She was just trying to figure herself out. And then these two guys did the unthinkable. JP, all of us that did the sneaking out, underage drinking, etc. So lucky to be here to write about it. Yes. And I'm so lucky to be talking about it, even though it's not necessarily what I want to be talking about. I was just on Oblivious Benson show, and it is, I guess, true crime, but we were talking about all kinds of stuff, and we were just laughing about being in a cult and evil potato, and it was a lot funnier. And then we come to the dark side. Come to Guilty of Crime, the dark side. 99 Peak Balloons, $9.99. Super sticker. These are the names to remember. Molly Tibbetts, Laken Riley, Rachel Morin, and Jocelyn Nungaray. I even said it right, and thank you. I covered Laken Riley. I covered Rachel Morin. I'm covering Jocelyn Nungaray, and I haven't covered Molly Tibbetts yet, but those are the names to remember, folks. Thank you. Justice for Jocelyn. Yeah, this is a brutal case. You're on the dark side if you're not guilty of crime.
Deserve this at all.
Police released these photos of two men seen at the gas station when Jocelyn
don't
was there.
know.
They are being called persons of interest. Jocelyn's mom says she does.
Thank God those pictures got as fast as they did to where they needed to be, or these guys would have already skipped the country and would have been another missing person that we would have never known about. Michelle, most people don't do anything, especially when you get a clerk that's underpaid with some minimum wage, $12 an hour. They just don't care. People don't care enough. That's why we're here.
Doesn't recognize them.
They look like individuals that could come out of the apartment complex I live in. It's very Latin based, and they could have came from the skate park. There's a lot of crazy people out here, and just by looking at them, you never really could know.
Just so heartbreaking. Well, the very next morning, after pictures of the two men seen on surveillance video with Jocelyn were released, police made their arrests.
Hearing that the gentlemen that were in these surveillance videos, that they have been found and they've been caught and they've been taken in for questioning, it was the greatest news to hear this morning, to be woken up with.
The last few days have been surreal for Alexis Nungaray and her family. Her 12-year-old daughter, Jocelyn, was strangled and her body left in the creek.
It's just like, still just doesn't register. Just, I can't believe it's her. And, it'll take some sinking in.
In a multi-division operation led by Houston Police, 21-year-old Johan Jose Rangel Martinez and 26-year-old Franklin Jose Peña Ramos, both Venezuelan natives, are now charged.
And you know what's funny is none of us are going to remember these guys' names. We're going to remember Jocelyn Nungaray and Alexis Nungaray. We're going to remember them. We're going to remember Molly Tibbetts, Rachel Morin, Lake and Riley. And all we're going to remember is these two immigrants did this, or these immigrants did this. I don't even know their names. I don't care. Ramirez, Juan, Gonzalez, whatever. I don't care what their names are. I just want these guys. I hope they get the death penalty. I'm for the death penalty. If it ever happens, if the death penalty ever does happen and it's seen all the way through, I'm for it. Yes, I believe in a higher power. I'm spiritual. I believe in God, Buddha, Allah, whatever you want to call it, Jesus. But I also believe in justice, and I believe that the justice system requires that of the death penalty.
Alexis says if she could have that night back, she would have hugged her daughter and never let go.
I would have stayed up with her. I would have just lacked sleep. I would have gave her the biggest hug.
That's what I was trying to tell you. And thank you, JPL, the Stelladoro. I said it wrong. I know you're going through a tough time at home and staying cool. You deserve a Slurpee today. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat and I love interacting with you. That's what you got to tell your kids. You would have stayed up super late. You'll wake up if they want you to wake up. Whatever they need, you'll do it. Be open with them. Be honest with them. Don't get mad if they wake you up. Be cool. Just be cool with your kids. Be parents, but also be their friend so that they can come to you and they don't sneak out, because it's not the same times as it used to be with us, folks. It's not. And now, yes, I'm going to pin this up while we listen to her. This is a grieving mom. It makes me want to go to the evil potato, Jennifer Soto. That is not a grieving mom, and I will never, ever, ever believe that.
Biggest hug. And I just probably wouldn't have let go.
The suspects are now facing charges of capital murder, one being Johan Jose Rangel Martinez, the second male being Franklin Jose Peña Ramos.
Photos show homicide detectives arresting Martinez and Peña Ramos at the Canfield Lake Apartments on Rush Creek Drive, 3 days after 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray's body was found in a creek at West Rankin Road in North Houston.
The first guy jumped through here behind the house and they chased him. They caught him here just outside at the other corner.
A neighbor saw the arrest and says he's seen the suspects with a young girl before.
She was a young 12-year-old girl who was always around here with a white dog. The guy was from Venezuela. He lived just on the other side.
He's talking about Peña Ramos. This New York Post article says Department of Homeland Security sources say that he crossed into El Paso illegally on May 28th, but was released with a GPS ankle monitor. It's unknown if that monitor was on when Jocelyn was murdered.
We shouldn't be burying our kids. This shouldn't be happening.
Houston police released the booking photos of 22-year-old Johan Jose Martinez Rangel and 26-year-old Franklin Jose Peña Ramos. Both men are booked at the Harris County Jail being charged with capital murder, and we have confirmed that both men are from Venezuela and are undocumented. According to court documents, both suspects lured 12-year-old Jocelyn under the bridge.
Yeah, listen to this before I get into my rant. Thank you, January. I love your evil potato nickname. It's so true. It's Oblivious Benson. It's the cult of all gratin, and let's smash the evil baked potato. Bitch, arrest Jen Soto. Justice for Jocelyn. I could go on a rant all day long about this. Listen to these aggravating facts here. In this case, the defendant lured a 12-year-old under a bridge where him and the co-defendant remained there, folks, for over 2 hours. They took her pants off and they tied her up, and then they took her life. And then they threw her body in the bayou. That's what these guys did. Why did they cremate Maddie and not give her a funeral? I don't know. It's just and Anatolia. I don't know. I also want to be cremated, so I don't know. I have nothing against cremation, so I don't know. All in the tanks. The mom said she had a cat. She probably did. And thank you, Lou. I love you. I love you guys. You guys are great. Feeling generous today. I appreciate you so much. I could use it. I put my PayPal and all my stuff down there just so I don't have to keep showing it again or asking or whatever. But thank you. Sarah's Law, Clark's Law in the UK. Super important to teach your kids not to keep secrets from other adults. DV distress signal. You're right. DV distress signal. And so check your devices daily. It takes 5 minutes. Lou, you must be watching Grizzly True Crime. Is that right? Tell me if you watch Grizzly True Crime. There's a distress signal. What's the distress signal? Is it like, I forgot. Grizzly does it all the time. Why can't I? Jay, no comparison for this caring, grieving mom and Jen Soto, a.k.a. the evil potato. Evil fucking potato. I want to smash her every time I see her smash her in the face. And you know about Stephen Stearns. You think nothing could happen to your 12-year-old because nothing happened to us. I try not to put negative, vengeful energy, but hell, justice is a thing. I will leave it at that. Laura, you're right. I try not to put negative energy, but you know what? I would be on the firing squad of the evil potato and Stephen Stearns and these guys. Just give me a gun. Or no, I'll take my own gun. I got my own gun. I got my own bullets. Let's go. Let's go, folks.
Where they had her for 2 hours. They took her pants off, tied her up, and killed her, then threw her body into the creek. According to an ICE spokesperson, Martinez illegally entered the United States at the El Paso border sector on March 14th of this year. He was released the same day with a notice to appear, or an NTA, to appear before an immigration judge in federal court. Such is the case for Peña Ramos, who entered the country illegally on May 28th at the El Paso border sector. He was also released the same day with an NTA.
The death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray has sparked the debate across the country about the immigration law and policy at the southern border. Here's Jonathan Mejia and the Fox 26 Face-Off team with that part of the story.
The death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray has caught the attention of many across the country.
Very
Houston
different.
police has arrested 22-year-old Johan Martinez and 26-year-old Franklin Peña. Both are from Venezuela and are illegal immigrants. Now they're facing a charge of capital murder. According to ICE, Martinez was apprehended by Border Patrol agents in El Paso on March 14th and was released the same day. For Peña, he was apprehended and released by agents in El Paso on May 28th.
These individuals had been apprehended and then released. That's a broken system, and it leads to tragedies when you have a criminal element.
Take the necessary steps to secure our border.
Many are calling on President Biden to do more when it comes to changing laws at the border, but only Congress can make immigration reform a reality.
We should insist that Congress and administration come up with a fail-proof immigration system.
Depending if the person enters lawfully.
Alexis Lucero is an immigration attorney from El Paso. He explains that the Department of Homeland Security has two different approaches at the border. One for those that enter legally through the CBP-1 app.
Those persons will generally not be subject to a detention process. That means if that person does not have an immigration background, meaning immigration violations or a criminal history, those people.
Thank you, Scary Sherry, for the $49.99 super sticker. You make us all very proud. Thank you. Thank you. I should get out I don't even want a shotgun. I want my AR-15. That's my favorite weapon. Get out the AR-15 and let's go. Let's volunteer to be in the firing squad so we don't have to pay for anybody to do this. Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I got my own firearms concealed in Florida. Florida, beautiful thing, especially for us ladies. I've got my AR-15. I've got my 280. I've got my rifles. I got my shotguns. I got my handguns, my 9mm, my 22, my 22 mag. What do you want? I've got everything in the arsenal ready to go. Still no potato in jail. No, it takes a while, folks. It takes a while. Be patient.
People who claim fear will be given an opportunity to present those claims to an immigration judge later in the process, and they're provided a humanitarian permit to enter the United States without detention.
And for those that enter illegally through the Rio Grande or desert, they have the heaviest consequences and are generally detained and face immediate deportation unless they're able to pass a credible fear interview. But the United States cannot send some nationals back to their country or Mexico.
If immigration authorities detain people on the border, in the desert or in the river, that happen to be from countries where the United States...
What's up, Jojo? I didn't see Did you send me an email? I checked my Carly texted me. What's going on? I didn't see any email, so I'm gonna keep playing this and I'll watch out for your whatever you're trying to say. Sorry, I'm distracted.
Has a strained diplomatic relation or has no diplomatic relation. We can't return them to their country of origin, so immigration is stuck with them.
Fire.
In those circumstances, immigration decides to let those people out on what's called a order of recognizance or an OR order, and they're given a notice to appear, which actually initiates a removal process with the judge.
As for what Jocelyn's mother hopes happens to the two suspects,
That they receive worse than what my daughter did, because she deserves to live and breathe every single day. I was looking forward to seeing how beautiful she was going to grow up to be.
Quadell, America is all familiar with the heart.
Oh no! All right, we gotta watch this because they're facing off, and I want to see what they say. It might be funny. I didn't watch his part. Hold on. Bum, bum, bum.
Breaking and horrifying story of Jocelyn Nungaray, the 12-year-old child that a Houstonian walked to a convenience store later in the night, snuck out of the house to talking on the phone with an age-appropriate boy, and she is...
By the way, thank you. I did not see that. Lou in chat knows the grooming process. If you're interested, I absolutely am. And by the way, Lou, did you? I'm sorry. I'm like, my son's texting me, my wife's texting me, and it's just one of those days. Luckily, my daughter's sleeping. Yeah, Lou, somebody emailed me the grooming process too. They emailed it to me, and then someone so graciously also offered to come on the show, which I need to get back to, because I'd love somebody that could actually communicate. Sometimes people come on the show and they want to say something and they're really knowledgeable, but they don't know how to communicate it properly. So I want to find that out and get someone to come on here, somebody that communicates like strategic. Mr. Strategic comes on here and just nails it. So, Lou, send me an email if you didn't already email me. I got one about the grooming process, and I'm saving that for I guess it's Mrs. Potato and Mr. Potato Head.
Kidnapped, raped, and murdered by two Venezuelan immigrants that both entered this country illegally, were detained. I know at least one was given an ankle monitor that he cut off. I think both of them were, and then fled into these United States and committed this horrifying crime. Where we've heard stories about an Ecuadorian on the run for murder, coming here in this country, commit more murder. We had a little girl in Edna, Texas, get murdered, 16-year-old. And of course, the mainstream media is not getting a lot of focus or attention to the fact that we have been awash in crimes committed by illegal immigrants. In yesteryear, immigrants were far more well-behaved in this country because they knew if they screwed up, they would get deported. Now, 2024, woke liberalism, but not even liberalism. I consider myself pretty liberal. Far left
said
evil
woke.
progressivism is saying, oh, sanctuary everything. Oh, no, if you commit crimes, well, we've got to worry about other things and other people and feelings. If you come to this country, I don't care if you come illegally or legally, and you commit a crime, it's time to send your butt back to whence you came from. And that needs to start right now.
Charles, let me first start by saying that these two sick animals that did this to this beautiful young angel, this 12-year-old beautiful young girl, should be put to death, and soon. We shouldn't take 10 years executing these two men. But what I don't want to see happen is lies be spread about the broader immigrant community because of the sick behavior of these two individuals. We're now going to take a broad brush and paint all immigrants in that same vine. That's wrong. What we don't want to do is tell lies that immigrants are committing crimes like they never did before. The majority community of immigrants, yes, they're here illegally and they should have came the right way and maybe they should be deported, but the overwhelming majority of them are law-abiding citizens.
I love their face off and the time they have now. Wendy Williams, I don't know how ICE works, but I do know that they're on an ICE hold, which means that they were going to come into the country, but they had to make sure, I don't know, I guess it's a background check. And Adam, thank you for telling us you'll be right back. And yeah, of course they're expensive because they have to monitor them and so forth. I just don't know how much. I don't know how taxes work in Texas, how taxes work in Texas. People in Texas, I imagine, come through the borders even more in certain areas. Now, the monitors might be cheap, but you have to monitor the monitors, Giselle. So, Red Wolf says your keyboard seems chaotic today, Jojo. Jojo, is your keyboard chaotic? And I can't believe I missed your chat. I'm like looking at all the ones now, and I'm like, how did I miss that? Damn it. I didn't mean to miss that. I think because it was blue. All right. Jojo's never chaotic. People out of jail have to pay for their own ankle monitor. Do you think they're really paying for it, though? Interesting.
Because they don't want to be deported. So to take the behavior of these two and paint the whole immigrant community is wrong. Those two men who did this to Jocelyn should be put to death. But white folks did the same thing to black people. They would highlight the crimes of one black man or two black men here and paint us with that same broad brush like we were all criminals.
Cornell, you sound like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I didn't say all immigrants. I said, in fact, immigrants used to be. No, I didn't try to say anything. I used the words I used. And my words are, if you come here, if you come here and commit a crime, you should get sent out. I didn't say anything about the law-abiding. And this is your race-baiting nonsense. I know you didn't. I know, Charles, you didn't say this, but I'm going to call you a racist.
No, Charles, you got more Americans committing these same crimes as immigrants.
Well, as that debate raged on, the community showed up to support Jocelyn's family with a vigil.
All right. So speaking of that, we're just going to show a couple minutes of the funeral and then the DA breaking some stuff down, and we'll continue talking about that.
We are learning the suspects accused of killing 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray were turned in by their roommate.
I can't get this. Sometimes the internet is just crap, but yeah, I'm waiting for the person that waited for a month, by the way. That was pretty awesome. My tenant moved out. He broke his lease. And so there's a person that waited for a whole month to get into this place, and there's like 15 people that want to come see it. Now, Michelle, I'm not showing the whole funeral because I don't have an hour right now, but I'm going to show you a clip. You can go on there and type in Jocelyn Nungaray's funeral, and you'll see. I'm just playing a clip of it. It's like an hour long, and I hate funerals. I'm sorry, justice for you, Jocelyn Nungaray, but I'm not into funerals and I'm not into caskets. I can't. I want to celebrate life.
Farewell today for 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray, nearly 2 weeks after she was murdered in North Houston.
Her death making headlines across the country. Jason Miles is live from Earthman Rest Haven Cemetery in Greenspoint with more. Jason.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, the girl known as quirky, pretty, nice, even fun-loving was laid to rest here in this cemetery following a service inside the chapel here. Let's take you inside that chapel, which was filled with hundreds of people. It included family, friends, political leaders, and others, even classmates who read a few things, several sharing memories of Jocelyn. She was also known as Josie, including how the girl was obsessed with movies like Twilight. In many ways, she was a typical preteen, but now Jocelyn, also known for being the victim of a violent crime involving two suspects accused of strangling her and throwing her in a creek. Jocelyn's great aunt telling those in attendance today they would get justice for the 12-year-old after she shared these words. Take a listen.
thank y'all, everyone, for all of your support and everybody that has done everything. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say I love you, Jocelyn, and we will see you again. I promise.
That is beautiful, by the way, folks. And that's why I wanted to share this. Justice for Jocelyn Nungaray. Yeah, this Mr. Strategic, you're right. So sad. This girl was robbed of her future. She was robbed of tomorrow. She was robbed of yesterday. She was robbed of having mental problems if she wanted to have them and needed to work them out. She was robbed of all that. Very sad, but very beautiful. And you guys can go watch that after if you want to watch a funeral. I particularly don't want to, and that's not my thing. And if I ever get murdered or killed or whatever happens to me, just know that my wife didn't do anything nefarious, that I asked her to cremate the shit out of me. I do not want this. I want to have a big ass party when I go. No tears. Cheryl McDonald, you're right. Play some 90s hip hop and let's go. Let's have a party. You guys party. You guys do the partying because I won't be there. But you know what? I just want everyone to be happy and be okay and just have my ashes. Whoosh. Jay means if she had mental issues, not wanted. No, mental issues, though. She was having some mental issues, but kids have that, especially at 12, 13. You're going through a lot of change. So what? She doesn't get to have that now. She doesn't get to have that. So many people showed up to pay respects. Yeah, I saw some of those chairs that it was packed. We can play KRS-One, pay whatever you want. Funerals are part of my work. Red Wolf says, same. January says, no funerals for me. Michelle, cremate the shit out of me. Just cremate the shit out of me in a big pile. Don't look at my wife, think she poisoned me or I told her to do it. I said, no funerals. All right.
Jocelyn's body was escorted by dozens of people to her gravesite via a horse-drawn caisson, several in the crowd yelling, quote, "We love you, Jocelyn." She is laid to rest not far, as a matter of fact, from where she was killed early last week, just in an area across the North Freeway here. Now, Governor Abbott's wife, Cecilia Abbott, as well as Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, among the dignitaries here today. They spoke with Jocelyn's mother at the end of the service and even handed her some sort of certificate or proclamation. And since the funeral, Dan Patrick, the Lieutenant Governor, has announced his intention to file what he is.
Star Z, though, be real. You want to donate your body. That's what my wife says. But I'm like, really? Do you think they're going to use your liver, however much you drank, and whatever medication you take? Do you think they want your organs? Just think about that before you donate your body to science. Just saying. Sadie's mama, hey, all good. Donate body to science and whatever you think. But, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't think they're going to want my body for science. Just saying. I really, truly don't. Look at this shit. They don't want that. Oh, yeah, they're not going to, just cremate my ass. No, it's used for teaching med students. Well, they don't want my body. I don't want to, just cremate me. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. I won't be there. I don't want anybody seeing me laying on this slab naked, whatever. I just don't want it. Fucking cremate me. I don't want this either.
Is calling Jocelyn's Law, which will allow Texans to vote to amend the Constitution to automatically deny bail for capital murder suspects. For now, reporting live on the north side near Greenspoint, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
An incredibly tough day for her family and young friends. Thank you so much, Jason. We've been following this case since the very beginning. You can find links to all of our reporting on our website, khou.com. You can also find the latest information on the case against the two men now charged with her murder.
All right. You know what I like? I like court stuff, and I like you guys seeing what the district attorney says and how it's broken down. This is a hard case, and it's hard when I'm hearing this over and over in these clips about and they just don't have any, there's no holds barred on this. It's like she was just strangled and tossed away. This is Channel 5 News. All right. Enchanted Moonlight Readings with Leslie. New subscriber. I'm so heartbroken by this case of this poor baby girl. I just buried my brother and father in the last 2 years. I pray for this family. Thank you, Jay, for everything you do for victims. You're welcome, Enchanted Moonlight Readings with Leslie. I'll just call you Leslie. How about that? And I said prayers to you and your family, for your brother and your father, and that you get through everything, you and your family. So we're here. We have the crime crew, guilty of crime crew. We're all family here. So welcome to the family. Millie, I saw you earlier and I didn't get a chance to say anything. Jay, they would talk about them in the detention center when caught and being treated inhumane. They should be sent back, not given a chance with the ankle monitor. Can you explain this? No, I can't. I don't know what in the hell is going on. I'm just going to call you Leslie. You're Leslie. You're welcome. Welcome to the crime crew. Did a funeral home pay for the service? Beautiful how the community has come together. I don't know who paid for that. I have no idea. The mom, Alexis Nungaray, seems really young. Hide and seek, because they told my kids to cremate, scatter my ashes at the sea, so I can't swim or fly for the health reasons. Aw. Well, there you go.
Of killing 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray have been charged with capital murder. 22-year-old Johan Jose Martinez Rangel and 26-year-old Franklin Pena are being held right now on $10 million bond. Now,
they're so young too. Like I didn't even realize how young they are. I didn't realize how young. I mean, they're way older than her. They're grown-ass men, but I didn't realize how young they were and just how brutal they are. And they would have went on to doing these kind of crimes, folks. Dialogue with me. Mattress Mac paid for the funeral. Who's that? We have to look that up. Mattress Mac. Huh. Mattress Mac. Mattress Mac. What? American businessman. Wow, really? Jim McIngville? That must be Mattress Mac. Wow. That's awesome. All right. Well, Mattress Mac paid for this. I pulled up a video after. That was the local businessman that paid for funeral. White buggy and horses and all that. A rich man in Houston. Yeah, I'll have to show you him after. Let's listen to this real quick and then I'll show you.
according to U.S. immigration officials, both of these men are Venezuelan nationals who.
He's a cool old white guy, folks. He's really cool. I just looked him up.
Entered the country illegally. Currently, they are under immigration holds by federal authorities. So this means that they would remain in custody even if they could post bond. So joining us this morning to talk about this ongoing investigation in this case, we have Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us this morning.
It's so important for people to support this family right now. We appreciate the coverage.
This is one of these cases that has rocked the community, her family, her friends, people who don't know her as a member of the media. This has been a really difficult one to follow and process. And we know one of the big questions, one of the things that is just really an intricacy of this case is the fact that her accused killers, they're not eligible right now for the death penalty, but we know that that could potentially change. Can you kind of walk us through why that is and what that could mean going forward?
Anytime there's discrepancies in the law that are related to the victim's age, you can get different results based on that age. Example, a child under 10 who's murdered means that the murderer could face the death penalty. But children 10 to 15, the law limits it to life without parole as the maximum punishment. The legislature decided that. It's unclear why.
So this is really, I don't know why this is so interesting to me, but I love hearing the laws of the different states, counties, cities, whatever it is. If it goes state to state, I think it's state to state. This is Texas. So they're talking about the laws in Texas and Jocelyn Nungaray and what's going to happen. Just Christine says, would have been nice if the mayor donated some funds. He seemed to want to be seen on this case an awful lot. Yeah, all these fucking people are trying to be on there for political reasons. And excuse my language today, but I just came from Oblivious Benson's channel, and there's a lot of cussing going on and a lot of goofy, funny stuff, and it gets me cussing. And then I hear about this case, and I don't want to be so serious on this case. I do not. Mattress Mike paid for the gravestone and repassed food in the store. Funeral home donate their services and coffin. Thank you, Rosebud. I appreciate that. Thank you all for those who know. And the crime crew, all of you in the crime crew help me to tell these stories, as I can't carry 20 cases, 25 cases, and then do a 10-part episode series on a missing person like Lauren DeMulo. I can't carry something like that without you and not have help. Just no way. All right, let's go.
But if there's an underlying felony of sexual assault, then these same defendants will be eligible for the death penalty.
So a very fluid situation as we just kind of wait to find out
It
more
is.
in this case.
It is. All cases evolve. And we file charges early because we want those dangerous defendants in custody. We don't wait for all of the evidence to make the initial charge because we want to protect the public. And we want to give the victim's family some assurance that these monsters are not going to flee the jurisdiction. We want a Texas jury to hear them and a Houston jury to hear them, these cases. So I think it's really important to know that regardless of what the charges are at the beginning, through technology that evolves in DNA and through all kinds of other means, video that we may not have, there's always the possibility of additional evidence or evidence that can be tested further, not just today, but tomorrow. We've seen that in the Josue Flores case where the DNA testing wasn't sufficient in 1 year to charge, and yet 2 years later, it was. Science had evolved. So we're watching this case very closely. We've asked for prioritized lab testing, and we're just going to see what the evidence shows, and that's where we'll go.
And as that kind of evolves, as you're talking about that, the technology transforms. This is kind of a day-to-day thing. But as new evidence emerges in this case, how could that potentially impact their bond potentially going forward?
Because these two defendants are from another country, it's difficult to get records. The Venezuelan government is not cooperative with the American government right now. And so what their backgrounds are, what they've done in their own country, any crimes that they have committed, all of those things, those aggravating factors could really impact this trial. Likewise, if there's some evidence of mental illness or health issues, other mitigating evidence, the defense will be looking for that because they don't want their clients to face the death penalty.
Right. Now, we have to touch on this because this has certainly kind of renewed the debate, I guess, at this point about our country's immigration system. And we talk about these two being from Venezuela. Talk about the complexities of this case and our border and how.
I don't either, and I'd like to go farther into this, folks, but we can stay on for another few minutes. I love that we have 261 people in chat. Hit that like button. You know that I normally stay on here for an hour and a half or 2 hours. Jojo, I don't know how to do it either. There's somebody here that was waiting for like a month to come see the place, and now she's like, I can't pull in the driveway. Someone's blocking the driveway. And I'm like, it's me blocking the driveway. It's my driveway. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Jay, we're all adults, so your cussing doesn't offend me. I can't speak for everyone else. Thank you, Marcia Young. Normally, I try not to cuss so much, but when you have a case like this, and you keep having to hear about the brutal assault and strangulation and then all these other things, it's crazy. Yeah, it is very funny. Ha, 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 ha. At least she laughed. She just texted me and said, oh, okay, LOL. It's like, I'm blocking my driveway, lady. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. Your parking around here is hectic. My roof fell in, and we have a big thing in our driveway, those pods to move your shit out. Thank you, MM McClure. I love you, Jay. I appreciate you, and we love you. I love each and every single one of you. Yeah, cussing's all good. I try not to, but thank you. I actually like the cussing. I'm a motor mouth. Yeah, a lot of you are. I just came here from Oblivious Benson's channel, and she cusses like a trucker. Thank you, Oblivious Benson, for all the shout outs. Hide and seek. My fiance passed over 2 years. I brought his ashes home until my time comes. It won't be for some time yet. Good, hide and seek. Good. Good. I don't care what you do with my ashes. Just, it doesn't matter. Just don't put me on a slab or a farm or fucking in a hole in a box, please. Do not do that. I'll be very upset and I'll be haunting you, ass. I'll be haunting you. Cussing's a sign of intelligence. At least that's what I tell myself. I tell my children the opposite. I tell them cussing is a sign of unintelligence. When you cuss, you could be substituting those words for more intelligent words, kids. So I try to, haunting your ass straight up. All right, let's listen to this for a minute, and then I got to get.
They may or may not go hand in hand there.
So in our job, it's really important to not consider immigration status of victims or accused criminals. The reason is we have equal protection in this country for everyone. And so when it comes to prosecution, there's no difference. But you see in the bond hearing, our concern is that they would flee the country. So,
is it just me, or is this lady talking really slow? Thank you for all you do. Good night. Good night, Beverly Johnson. Yeah, Michelle, I tell my children the same thing. I just tell myself that. Shelly says I cuss like a trucker. I do sometimes too. Remember, I've been doing tattoos for 25 years, so you gotta cuss like a trucker. The Daily Mess, Real Stories podcast, made my first live. Hello, the Daily Mess. We love daily messes. We're a bunch of daily messes ourselves around here. All right. Gothic Breeze says, imagine Jay walks out to meet the person looking at the apartment and they recognize Jay from YouTube. They just might. I hope they understand where I'm coming from, because that's all I got to say. Firing fucking squad. Cuss like a sailor. Valerie, what's up, Valerie? Lollipop. All my favorite people. Did you guys just come from Oblivious Benson's channel? Are you cheating on me? Because I was cheating on myself with her channel before this. I didn't even want to come here. I was over there doing my thing there. It could happen. Yeah. Have I been recognized? I'm recognized all the time by a lot of things. Yeah, she's waiting. She's like, okay, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming. I was able to find a parking. Oh, yay. I'll text on my way out. I'm glad you're able to find parking. See, hopefully she's not watching this, because I'm over here talking shit right now. Yeah, you see the stuff. I've been doing tattoos. That's not what I do right now. I have a tattoo studio, but I'm currently filming in my tattoo studio. But I'm also with the COO of a mechanical engineering company. YouTube famous, baby. Well, I've been in this town for 20 something years, and I've been in San Jose and doing tattoos, and people just know me because I've been around. I stopped in the OB while waiting for you. We all want to do that. Talking shit right now. Yeah, talking shit right now. That's right. It's crazy, man. Hey, if I scare the renter away, they're not in my house, by the way. It's a whole separate house. But if I scare somebody away, they were not meant to be a renter. They were not meant to fucking rent this shit. Because wait until they see the rest of my family and hear this. Yeah, but what about the flugelhorn? Just doesn't hit the same way. What's the flugelhorn? What are we talking about? Cool means cool one oddities. C-O. Cool one oddities. Yeah, I'm managing director, more like it. Jake and the crew are amazing. And I love JoJo's hashtag follow, subscribe to Oblivious Spencer. And she does have potatoes, by the way. Yes, yes. All right, folks. As much as I'd love to hear this lady that talks really slow, and I'd love to stay on here longer, and you can see that seam over there. Yeah, as much as I'd love to stay, I don't want to make this lady wait, and this sucks. I hate finding roommates. Tenants. I was hoping that tenant would stay, sign up for another 12 months. I hate this shit. So, on that note, I don't know what a flugelhorn is. Oh, I do not have a flugelhorn on the bingo card today. Lynette's laughing. I cheat on my cats. I fuss one, then the other. They turn their backs. I fuss. Oh, my goodness. All right, Lou, can you email me, please? Email me. I don't want to hear about the signs of grooming, but I need to know. And I also want to talk about that on my show, the signs of grooming, so we can see them. We can bring awareness to them. We need to know. We need to know what the signs of grooming are. So, on that note, as much as I do not want to go, I have to. Good night. Love you all.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?